Welcome to the Life After Life podcast, where we explore our soul's physical and non-physical journey. I'm Majana. Let's discuss angels, guides, and loved ones from the other side. Hello and welcome back. You have Thomas and Majana.
You do indeed.
So what is going on when you want so desperately to talk to a loved one that is on the other side? And whether you normally can or cannot, they just seem out of commission. You can't get a hold of them. Why?
This is a good question. This is a lean into episode.
Yeah, you know what? And again, this came from a listener. Thank you so very much. So if you haven't been able to make that connection on your own, we will be working on that. I've got some plans around that. And if you do have that ability to make those connections on your own, as this listener does, but yet sometimes the person that they're trying to connect with just seems to be missing. They've gone missing, and it's very frustrating. So why? Well, I think there's a couple of reasons for that. So I'm just really going to talk about the ones that normally you can talk to, right? I think a couple things happen. One, especially when they first cross over. Oftentimes, people stay, they hang around after they die because they're worried about the loved ones left behind. They see the anguish, and when you're not in your body and you are pure energy, you're just that much more receptive to all the energy. So if the loved ones that you are leaving behind are in emotional anguish because you've passed, they not only see that anguish, but they can feel that amplified. And so they often want to stay to console you, they can be around you. And even if your conscious mind isn't picking up, your subconscious is, and you might feel a little bit better, especially in your sleep. It's easier to connect then. So that's why if you're at peace with them passing, then they don't have that urgent reason to stay here. They know you are okay, so they can get on about their business. The other thing is if there's something unfinished. Oftentimes I see maybe there was an argument or a disagreement between you and the person that crossed. And again, they know that now that angry or anguish may be turned into guilt. And so that's a heavy, low energy vibration. And again, they stay around because they want you to know it's okay. They are okay. They're forgiving you if there's forgiveness to be done. And so again, they're not staying for them. They're staying for you. If you were all good with them passing, you know that they are on their soul journey and that they are on to a higher, better place, and you're happy for them. That doesn't mean you don't miss them, but they see that you're okay, then that frees them up to go ahead and leave. Okay, so that's the good and the bad, right? You miss them, you want them here, and yet you're not tethering them to you. All right, so then the other piece is, remember this is a journey, and our soul, although we finished with this body, our souls continue. When they're on the other side, they continue to grow. They continue to have experiences. Think about every sci-fi movie that you've ever seen and all of the possibilities out there. There's other dimensions. There are other planets. There are other realities. You know, I think Gene Roddenberry from Star Trek is just amazing and probably did a lot of traveling in his sleep and maybe even in his waking moments because there's a lot of truth in his stuff.
What a visionary he was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Huge.
A whole different conversation. Crazy. So I know, so my parents have both passed. And my mom, they come often, we talk. And there was a time when I could not get my mom to come at all. And normally I'm pretty flexible with that. I feel like they're doing their thing and they pop in when they can and we have conversations and then, they come and go. And I try to not summons them. Hey, Mom, I need to talk to you. Sometimes guilty, but I try not to do that. Well, there was a period of time I couldn't get a hold of her. And I was like, what's going on? And there was some anger, there was confusion. I felt a little abandoned, all of that. Well, when she finally came in, it was so funny because she came in and she's like, what? And that caught me off guard. And I'm like, well, where have you been? And she said, in school. And it was so funny. Honestly, it was a little consoling to know that I could still irritate her. That was Mom. She was frustrated with me. So, that was that humanness, right? That was a connection, and we were very close, so I didn't irritate her often, but I felt a little better about that. And that was a huge moment for me. It's like, oh yeah. So, the space-time continuum that we live in on Earth, time is a man-made function. So when you're disembodied and you're floating about the universe, that is completely irrelevant. If you've never watched the movie Interstellar, it's a great one. You watch that one. That's a really good one when it comes to the space and time continuum. So if you can't get a hold of, or you're not hearing from a loved one, realize there can be so many things going on, and don't take it personally. It's not that they don't love you. They do. You're still connected. They're still in your soul pod group, and they have a life. Just like when they were here, sometimes you get busy and they get busy and you might not talk or see each other for a while. And that's the same thing going on. So just be patient. Continue to send them love because they feel that. They just maybe can't pick up the phone and talk to you right now.
Okay, I had something happen the other night that you don't know about.
Okay. I love surprises.
Well, I was going for a walk in this place that I really like to go to. And on the way out the door, literally, I started to feel my grandfather, my maternal grandfather.
Nice.
He wanted to have a chat.
Love it.
So as the walk began, he was right there. He was ready. And I'm going to get choked up talking about this. I don't know if I can do it in the moment here. Bottom line, as we talked, all of a sudden, my mom and dad were standing next to him on both sides. He was in the middle, and they were on both sides.
I might get choked up with you here.
And then came Patty and Harold, my aunt and uncle, and they joined in. And then came the grandmothers, and then came my paternal grandparents, and then came another relative who died way too young, who I was very close to. And then came great aunts and uncles. And by the time I got around the pond, my whole family was there. And it was just pure love.
Mm-hmm. So, wow. So one of the reasons this is so big is this isn't old news for Thomas. This is a very new experience. Can you talk?
And that doesn't happen. Yeah, I think so. And that doesn't happen often. Not at all. But boy, was it real, and it was vivid, and they were there to support and encourage. And, that's not something that I think I could just pull out again. They were there.
Yeah.
That was my grandfather led it off.
That is just cool.
Yeah.
So
I'll be back in a bit.
Wow. So this is something that Thomas has worked on for just having that connection for quite a long time, off and on. It hasn't been a, drill down and make it happen thing. But so this is my feeling about that is we are doing a lot of soul work and energy work. Now, his family has always been there to support him. I can see that and feel that, and some other people have, and we can share that with him, and that in itself is powerful. But as the way I'm taking this is, as Thomas is growing and he is stepping into these these strengths and these abilities. This is just his family showing up to support him, to show him that he's on the right path, to give him encouragement and show him, just give him a taste of what lies ahead, of the possibilities and his potential, because it's not about them, it's about him. And that connection is always there. So this is so cool. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it was something else.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that right now, live.
Yeah, I mean, it touches you for sure.
Wow. So the other reason I really love that is, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, we're going to do some work around that. I really want to help anybody that wants to step into this ability and this energy to be able to do that. And so I'm working on it, forming some classes, some support groups, putting it out in whatever formats. I'm very open, and the universe is very supportive. So I'm excited about that. So for right now, wow, we're going to regroup because we're both very touched right now. And I appreciate so much you listening. Please continue to reach out. You can get us at majana@lifeafterliferadio.com. And we will look forward to seeing you, hearing from you very, very soon. And until next time, namaste.